Welcome to my live section. So we're diving deep straight to the pair we have to trade for this month and for next month. So let's get started with what we expect from the chart. So I will be starting with the DSY. But before I start this analysis, if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also give this live a thumbs up. So let's get started. So we start with the DSY. The DSY on my weekly chart still remain on a downtrend. We still have a downtrend structure on the DSY. So long we have a downtrend structure on DSY, we expect price to still push lower. We expect price to touch this support level, but if price fail to break this particular support level, we expect a resumption of the uptrend. But currently we have price also on a support level on this particular weekly support level. A fail of price above this level, price close above this level on the weekly chart, we might see the DSY resuming uptrend back to this resistance area. So we can see a break of this resistance, we might see up, but if price fail, we might see price resuming downtrend back. So expect the DSY this week to close above this weekly resistance for us to see price pushing higher to this next resistance level. So we're expecting the DSY to move to this next resistance level this week, but our structure on the DSY still remain on a downtrend. Then we can't sell on support level, so price must go back to this resistance level before start looking for selling opportunity on the DSY. So price must go back to this resistance level, then we'll start looking for selling opportunity for the DSY to the downside to this our target. Then if price break out of this resistance, that means if price break out of this resistance, we might be seeing resumption of uptrend for DSY to the top. So this week we wait for DSY to close above this support, then we'll start expecting price to move to this next resistance level on the weekly chart. So let's go back to our daily chart. So on our daily chart, we currently have a downtrend structure. Also we have a series of lower high, which indicates we expect more downtrend for the DSY. On our weekly chart, we draw this resistance level, which is on the daily chart. Now we expect the DSY to do a retest of this resistance before we see a possible sell back to the down for the DSY. So because we have a downtrend structure on the weekly chart, we expect the DSY to remain on the downtrend until we see a bullish structure on the DSY on the weekly before we can start looking for possible buying opportunity for the DSY. So our DSY still remain on the downtrend. So let's look at our next pair, which is the Euro USD. So Euro USD on my daily chart, see I have this uptrend structure, but let's start our analysis from the weekly chart. So on my weekly chart, we have this uptrend structure. We have a series of higher low, which indicates Euro USD still remain uptrend for this month. We still have uptrend structure, but currently price closed on the resistance level, which indicates the retest of this resistance zone. Then we'll see further push for price back to the next weekly support level, which is this area. We have our next weekly support level at this area. So price might test this weekly support level before we see any further buy for euro to the top. Then if price fail to hold on that weekly support level, and if price break it, we might see further sell for euro to the downside. So this week, because price closed on weekly resistance, we decide not to trade the euro, because even with the uptrend structure, we decide not to trade the euro because price closed on a weekly resistance, which indicates a further retracement of price to the weekly support, which is this weekly support. That's why we decided not to trade the euro this week, because price closed on the weekly resistance level. So we expect price to return to this weekly support level before start looking for possible buying opportunity if the candlestick anatomy can give us a clear direction for us to buy. But if the candlestick anatomy show more down bearish trend, we join the bearish trend, and if we can see price break out of this mostly this support level. Once price can break out of this support level, we will look for more sell opportunity for the euro to the downside. So let's go back to the daily chart of the euro USD. So on my daily chart, you can see we have this series of higher low, which indicates more uptrend too, but we can't make any buy decision because price closed on weekly resistance, which is we expect price to come to this weekly support before we can start looking for possible buying opportunity for the euro to the top. So we can't buy currently on this weekly resistance level. We have to buy from a weekly support level for the euro USD. So let's wait for price to come to the particular support level before start looking for every possible buying opportunity for the euro USD. So let's look at another pair, which is the pounds USD. Pounds USD, let's start with from the weekly chart. So pounds USD on the weekly chart is currently on a resistance level, and the structure on pounds USD also indicates a neutral trend. On the pounds USD, we have this lower low, then we have this higher low, we have higher low, we have this higher low, we have this higher high, then price closed below this higher low, which indicates shift of trend for the pounds USD to the downside. Then price move up to this weekly resistance, then price test this weekly support, then push higher. So while we remain hold on the pounds USD, we expect price to break this level before we start looking for possible sell to the downside, because we need a series of lower high for us to start looking for selling opportunity for the pounds USD. Then for the buy opportunity, we need a price to break out of this current resistance, then we wait for a test, then start looking for possible buy for the pounds USD. So we can't buy the pounds USD for now or sell the pounds USD for now. Pounds USD is currently on the consolidation. There's no clear direction for the pounds USD for now, so we expect a clear direction next week before we can start making our possible decision for the sell or buying of pounds USD. So let's go back to the daily chart for clearer picture. So on the daily chart, price break this lower high. We have a series of higher low, then we have this higher low, we have this higher low, then higher high, then price closed below this higher low, which with this lower low. So we expect price to test this particular resistance for see further sell for the pounds USD so that we can start looking for possible sell opportunity to the downside. So if you can see also from the daily chart, we have a downtrend structure with higher inner structure. For us to start looking for any possible sell on the pounds USD on the daily chart, we need a break of price below this higher low, this inner structure higher low, then we start looking for possible selling opportunity for the pounds USD to the downside. So pounds USD on the daily chart still remain bearish until we see a clear picture on the weekly chart before start looking for possible sell. So our scenario for pounds USD still remain neutral based on the weekly doesn't have a clear direction for us to make any possible decision on the pounds USD. If you are just joining us, please don't forget to like this live stream and also share it. You can also share this live stream. So let's continue with our analysis. Let's look at our next pair, which is the Australia USD. Australia USD. So Australia USD currently is still uptrend. Let's start our analysis from the weekly chart. Let's start our analysis from the weekly chart. So on the weekly chart, we have this uptrend structure on the Australia US. We have lower low, and we have a series of higher low, which indicate a possible bullish move for the Australia USD. Then our support for Australia USD, for us, yes, we are expected price to buy from. We need the price to come to this. We need price to come to this weekly support level. Then we can start looking for possible buying opportunity for the Australia to the top, which is this level is our weekly support level, key support level for possible buying opportunity for the pounds, for the Australia USD to this next resistance level. So currently these areas are all resistance. We can't buy on resistance, so we need the price to come back to this support level because we have a clear uptrend structure on the Australia USD. So we need a price to come to this support level first to start looking for possible buy for the Australia USD to the top. So let's look at the daily chart of the Australia USD. So on our daily chart, you can see that currently this particular level I draw, this particular weekly resistance I've spotted on the weekly chart. So on the daily chart, it's also a strong level. You can see that we have this resistance, which is our previous resistance that turn towards support. So we need a price inside this weekly zone, then first start looking for possible buy for the Australia USD to the top. So look for your possible retest of this. If price retests this previous resistance, which is also a weekly support, then we can start looking for possible buying from this level if we have a clear anatomy from the weekly chart for us to buy, because the weekly must also give us a clear anatomy of buying position before we can start looking for possible buy for the Australia USD. So if you are just joining us, don't forget to like this live stream and also subscribe to our channel. So let's continue with our analysis. So Australia USD on the daily chart also have the uptrend structure along with the weekly chart. So long the Australia USD on the daily chart have the uptrend structure and the weekly also have the uptrend structure, that means we're expecting a good move from Australia USD in this month of September. So we expect more bullish move for the Australia USD, which is we expect price to retest this zone and give us a good setup for us to buy Australia USD to the top. So we'll be swinging Australia USD to the top in this month of September. So let's wait for price to come to this our zone first, start looking for possible buying opportunity for the Australia USD. If the weekly confirm the buy, we'll take our buy position for the Australia USD. So let's look at our next pair, which is the gold USD. So let's start our analysis from the weekly charts. So gold USD on my weekly chart still remain uptrend, and currently now gold USD is on a neutral ground. We need price to come back to this weekly support level before we can start looking for possible buy for gold USD. We need the price to retest this support level, then we'll start looking for buying opportunity for the gold USD. And you can see that on the weekly chart we have a series of higher low, which indicate a bullish trend for gold USD this week. So long we have this series of higher low, we expect gold to continue to push higher this week. If you are not joining us, please don't forget to like this live stream and also subscribe to my channel for more weekly analysis and forex trading signals. You can also join my Telegram group for live trading signals. So let's continue to analysis. So the gold on the weekly chart have this uptrend structure. So long we have this uptrend structure on the gold USD, we need price to come to this particular weekly support before we can start looking for possible buying opportunity for gold to the top. So without this area buy, if you are buying on neutral ground, which indicates wrong buy. If you buy from neutral ground, you can lose that particular trade. But if you buy from this particular zone on the weekly chart, it will be more safer for the gold to the top. So let's look at the daily chart of the gold USD. So on my daily chart, currently we see I have this price breakout of this range, which indicates a bullish momentum for the gold. So we expect price to come to this support level before start looking for possible buying opportunity for gold. So once price come to this particular support level and we have a clear anatomy of price from the weekly chart, we can start looking for possible buying for gold, because the weekly is currently uptrend, the daily is uptrend, which indicates a strong bullish momentum for gold to the top. Then we also need the weekly anatomy of price for us to buy gold to the top. So expect price to come to this zone, then we'll start looking for possible buying opportunity. If you want to join the sell on gold, you can go to your lower time frame, which is have a good downtrend structure. If price can, okay, let me analyze what we expect for price to test to this zone. So on the 4-hour chart, once we have this price break below this level, expect a retest, then we'll start looking for possible sell for price to this level, because currently the key level for gold to break for the downtrend we start is this current 4-hour support level. So once price break this support level, we start heading down for the good. So now we have higher high, lower high, lower high, but we also need a clear of price to break this current higher low. Once price can break this higher low, then we'll start looking for possible sell opportunity for gold to the downside. If you are not joining us, please don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to our channel. Thank you. So let's continue with analysis. So let's look at our next pair, which is the USDJPY. So USDJPY on my weekly chart still have this uptrend structure. We have lower low and higher low, higher low, higher low. This structure is a inner structure, which is not a major structure. So we need a price to break out of this high, this lower high. Once price can break out of this lower high, this indicates a major structure for the USDJPY. So we need a price on the weekly chart to break out of this level, then do a retest back to this zone. Then we expect price to move to this next resistance level, which is this strong resistance level for the USDJPY. So our direction for USDJPY on the weekly chart still remain uptrend, because we have an uptrend structure for the USDJPY. So let's go to our daily chart. So on the daily chart now, you can see that for a period of months now we are on a consolidation. So we need a price above this particular level for us to get. We need a price above this daily consolidation for start looking for possible buy of price to this next weekly resistance level. So once we have price break out of this resistance, this consolidation, we expect price to retest. Then we start looking for possible buying opportunity to this resistance level. A break of this resistance level, that means price have resumed a major buy for USDJPY to the top. So our scenario for USDJPY still remain bullish. So we expect more buy for the USDJPY to the top this coming week and in this month of September. So look for more bullish opportunity for the USDJPY once we see a clear price above this resistance level. Once we see a clear of price above this resistance level, look for more buy on the USDJPY. So let's look at our next pair, which is the USD card. So USD card, let's start our analysis from the weekly chart. USD card has this higher high and we have a lower high, which indicates we are currently in downtrend. But we have an inner structure of a bullish trend, which is we have this lower low, then we have this high, we have a higher low, we have this higher low, we have this higher low, which indicates an inner structure of bullish move to this resistance level. So if the USD card can break this resistance level, we expect more bullish move to the top. But if price fail to break this resistance level, which is this higher low, we expect price to resume downtrend from this level to the downside. So for now, the USD card still remain bullish, inner structure bullish for this week. So what we expect this week, we expect price to close inside this particular weekly support level. Once we have price close on this weekly support level, next week we'll start looking for buying of the USD card to this next resistance level. We need a confirmation of price closing on this weekly support level for start looking for possible buying opportunity for the USD card. So let's go to our daily chart on the USD card. So on the USD card, the daily chart, you can see that we have this series of higher low for USD card, which means we have an uptrend structure on the USD card. So long we have an uptrend structure on USD card, we expect price to continue to push higher for this week. And we need price to complete this structure this area is a completion of structure for the USD card. So what we expect this coming week, we expect price to convert this particular resistance to support. So we need a price to above this particular resistance. Then we expect a retest. Then we look for possible buying opportunity for the USD card to the top. So we expect bullish move for USD card next week. So look for buying opportunity after price has closed on our weekly support level for the USD card. So let's look at our next pair. Please can also help us to share this live stream for others to also connect, also have access to this vital information. So let's look at our next pair, which is the USDCHF. USDCHF on my weekly chart have this downtrend structure. We have a higher high, then we have a series of lower high, which indicates possible selling opportunity for the USDCHF. So long we have this downtrend on the USDCHF, we expect price to continue to push lower, but currently price closed on this weekly support level, so which indicates no selling on this weekly support level. We need price to come to resistance first, start looking for any possible selling opportunity. We have this resistance area, so we have this resistance area for us to look for a sell opportunity. So we expect the weekly candle to go to this resistance next week. If it fail to close above this level, start looking for possible sell. Then if price close above this resistance, that will start looking for possible buying opportunity for the USDCHF to the top. So USDCHF for this week remain neutral. We have a downtrend structure, but price close on the support level, which indicates we have to remain neutral for the USDCHF for this week. But we can also trade the reversal to this next weekly resistance level. So we can take the reversal from this support level to this resistance level for the USDCHF. So we expect price to move to this resistance this week and next week. Then if price fail to break this resistance, we might see price remain downtrend. But if price break this resistance, we might be seeing a bullish resumption for the USDCHF. So USDCHF is just a reversal trend back to this next weekly resistance level. So let's look at our next pair, which is the S&P 500. S&P 500 on the weekly chart still remain bullish. We still have a bullish trend on S&P 500. So we expect more buying on the S&P 500. You can see that we have a series of higher low on the weekly chart, which indicate more buyers for the S&P 500. So we expect more buying for S&P 500 in this coming week and in this month of September. So let's look at the daily chart of the S&P 500. So on the daily chart, S&P 500 also gave us a signal yesterday, which indicates possible buy for this yesterday. So currently S&P 500 is currently buying for this week. We expect S&P 500 to continue to buy until we see any possible reversal on the weekly chart. So we expect more bullish move for the S&P 500. So our target for this S&P 500 will be targeting this next here will be our next target on the S&P 500 for the coming week. So in this month of September, we expect price to come to this resistance, this next level, before we can see any further sell for the S&P 500. So we expect more bullish move on the S&P 500 this coming month. So let's look at our next pair, which is the US30. So on the weekly chart, we have a series of higher low, which indicate a bullish move for the S&P 500. So long we have this bullish structure on the weekly chart, we expect the S&P 500 to continue to push higher for this week. So look out for more buying opportunity for the S&P 500 in this month of US30. Look for more buying opportunity for the US30 in this month. Look for more buying opportunity. So let's look at the daily chart of the US30. So on my daily chart, we also have the uptrend structure, which indicates a very good trade setup. So long we have this uptrend structure, we expect more buying for the US30. So look out for buying opportunity on the US30 all throughout this month of September. Look out for more buying opportunity until you see a downtrend structure. We also alert you in this live section, because this live section hold Tuesday and Thursday. So let's go to our next pair. So let's check at the weekly chart of the BTC USD. BTC USD on the weekly chart remain bullish. So we expect more bullish move on the BTC USD. So we expect price to move to this next resistance level. So we need we also need a clear price on this support before we see that confirmation of price to this resistance level on BTC USD. So let's look at the daily chart of the BTC USD. So you can currently see now that we have a support at this level, which we expect the BTC to touch before we see further buy for BTC. So we need a price on this weekly support level before we start looking for possible buy for the BTC to the top. So we expect price to come to this support level before we start looking for any possible buying opportunity for BTC USD. So let's look at the next pair, which is Ethereum. Ethereum still remain bullish on the weekly chart. So look for more buying opportunity for the Ethereum. So let's go to currency pair. So we're looking at this pound CHF. So pound CHF on the weekly chart still remain downtrend. We can see that we have a downtrend structure. We have a series of lower high, which indicate more bearish for the pound CHF. So we're expecting price to push more lower for the pound CHF this month. So let's look at the daily chart of the pound CHF. So on the daily chart, currently pound CHF give us a sell setup around this top, this area, this weekly resistance. Then we sell to the downside. So we see expect more bearish trend for the pound CHF to this support level area. We need price to come to this support level. So we need a reversal of price to a weekly resistance before start looking for selling opportunities for the pound CHF to the downside. So let's look at our next pair, which is Australia Gbpusd. So the Australia Gbpusd have a downtrend structure. You can see that we have a higher high, a lower high, lower high, which indicate a bearish trend for us this week. We need a price for us to sell. We need a price to come to this resistance level. Then we'll start looking for possible sell for the downside. So we wait for price to come to this resistance level on the weekly chart with a clear anatomy of price before start looking for any selling opportunity for the Gbpusd Australia. So let's look at the daily chart of the Gbpusd Australia. So on the daily chart, you can see that we have a downtrend structure already. Price break out of this range, which indicates a clear downtrend for this month of September. So we need a price to come to this weekly resistance level. Then we'll start looking for possible sell opportunities to the downside for the Gbpusd Australia. So look for selling opportunity inside this weekly zone to the downside. So let's look at our next pair, which is the Australia CHF. Australia CHF, let's go to the weekly chart. So on the weekly chart, Australia CHF CMA on the downtrend, we can see that we have a series of lower high, which indicates possible selling opportunity for Australia CHF. So let's go to the daily chart. Look for more selling opportunity on Australia CHF if price can break below this higher low. Once you see a clear of price below this higher low, we'll start looking for possible selling opportunity for the Australia CHF. Then expect a retest, then look for possible sell for the Australia CHF to the downside. So let's look at the JPY pairs before we close this live section. So let's start with the weekly chart. So on the weekly chart, we have a uptrend structure we have a series of higher low, which indicates a bullish move for the EURJPY. And you can see last week price tested this weekly support. Then we start seeing bullish move for the EURUSD. So let's go to our daily chart. So on our daily chart, you can see that we have a series of higher low, which indicates a bullish move for the EURJPY, which indicates a strong bullish move for EURJPY. So look for more buying opportunity on the lower time frame for this week on the Euro JPY. Look for more of buying opportunity this week. So let's look at our next pair, which is the pounds JPY. Pounds JPY on my weekly chart CMA uptrend. You can see that we have this uptrend structure. So long you have this uptrend structure, we have to look out for more buying opportunity this week. So look for your more buying opportunity on the pounds JPY. So let's look at the daily chart. You can also see that the daily chart also have a good structure for buy also. So look for more buying opportunity for this week for the pounds JPY. So let's look at our last pair, which is the Australia JPY. So from the weekly chart, you can see that the Australia JPY still have a uptrend structure. You can see that we have a series of higher low, which indicate bullish move for the Australia JPY. So we expect price to move to this next weekly resistance level on Australia JPY. So we expect price to move to this next weekly resistance level. So if price break this resistance level, we expect further buy to the top, which is we expect price to move to this resistance level. Then if price break this resistance level, we expect more buy to the top. So let's look at the daily chart of the Australia JPY. So on my daily chart, you can see currently we have a uptrend structure also, which is the daily uptrend structure and the weekly have a uptrend structure. So we expect more buy for the Australia USD. Now we have a good setup. You can see that we have an indicator candlestick on the Australia USD. So look for more buying opportunity for the Australia USD to the top this week. So if you find, so you can also join our Telegram group for this live trade section and also get a free signal on our Telegram group. So if you find this analysis helpful, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more trading tips and forex analysis. Thank you for your time. See you in my live section, in my next live section. Thank you. So this is the end of today's live section. Thank you guys for staying till the end. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for this live session. Thank you.